We stand for the Gospel reading. Praise to you, O Christ, King of eternal glory. The Lord is a great God. O that today you would listen to his voice, harden not your hearts. Praise to you, O Christ, King of eternal glory. This is the Gospel of the Lord according to John. Now among those who went up to worship at the festival were some Greeks. They came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew. Then Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Those who love their life lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, there will be my servant also. But whoever serves me, the Father will honor." Now my soul is troubled, and what should I say? "Father, save me from this hour"? No, it is for this reason that I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name. Then a voice came from the heavens. "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." The crowd standing there heard it, and they said that it was thunder. Another said, "An angel has spoken to him." But Jesus answered them, "This voice has come for your sake, not for mine. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be driven out. And I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself." He said this to indicate the kind of death he was to die. This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated. I'm happy to welcome Mark, who will be preaching this morning.
If we take from the Old Testament scripture all the way to our New Testament reading this morning and the gospel reading, it seems as if everything fits together very well. And there is a message. So the question this morning is, what is the message of these scriptures? Now, just to give you a little bit of background, in the 90s when I was pastoring a church, we used to, during the sermon, have fill in the blanks. Have you ever been to a church where you have fill in the blanks, you have a message, and then you fill in the words, helps you to follow along? It was the 90s. Now, our congregation, if sometimes people would try to fill in the blanks before the sermon was delivered. And if they did that, then we would just agree, and then we wouldn't have the sermon. But if somebody missed it, then we would have to go ahead and have the sermon. So, I would like to ask you this morning, what is the message? Perhaps, if you've discerned the message, then we could just hear what it is you've said. But just talk to the person next to you. What do you think the message is of these scriptures? We have what is the message?
We want this on.
Okay, so we have our Jeremiah passage where we are talking that something new is going to happen. What was the Old Covenant? The Old Covenant was a bunch of rules that we had to follow, and if we agree to follow them, and if we follow them correctly, then we would get certain rewards from God. But if we didn't follow them, and they were very difficult to follow, then we would receive punishment. When prior to our fill-in-the-blank church, Chris and I were at a church which was largely children, and this church was in the Baptist tradition. So after every church, there would be an altar call. Okay? And in an altar call, people come forward and commit their lives to following Jesus. Okay? Small church, same people would come up every single week to answer the altar call. Okay? One of them was a girl named Rachel. And Rachel was 10 years old. Every week without fail, Rachel would come up for the altar call. And so I just decided to ask Rachel, so why are you coming up for the altar call every week? And she said, well, I haven't been following the 10 Commandments. I said, okay, which ones? And she said, all of them. I said, okay, Rachel, so you know there's a lot of things. Rachel, you're 10. And it says don't commit adultery. Okay? And she said, oh yeah, I've done that. And there's a part of me that was a bit fearful of, maybe something had happened to her. So I said, so Rachel, what is your understanding of adultery? And she said, adultery. That's when an adult tells you something to do and you don't do it. And so Rachel's trying to get free of the law, which it's impossible to follow. And then in this very interesting Hebrews passage, we're told that Jesus is like a priest from the order of Melchizedek. And so, Ian, are you a priest in the order of Melchizedek, or are you in a different priestly order?
I'm not sure. Probably a different one.
Okay, so we know from the Old Testament and from the Old Covenant, the people who were the priests, the people who went in and interacted with God, were all descendants of Aaron, Moses' brother. And we know very clearly from genealogy that Jesus is not a descendant of Aaron. So Jesus could not be a priest according to the Old Covenant. But superseding this, there was somebody who was a priest that interacted with Abraham before Abraham had his descendants, of which Aaron is one. And so it says in Genesis 19 that we have this king of Salem called Melchizedek, and he worshiped the Lord Most High. And a bit of foreshadowing, he gave Abraham some bread and some wine, much like we will celebrate today. And then Abraham gave him a tenth of everything that he had.
Note that it was a tenth that he gave them.
What's that?
So make sure people give a tenth this time. For everything they had.
So it's not just on them, but
Everything they had.
yes. Yeah. So it says that Abraham gave a tithe of everything that he had. And so just when we hear this order of Melchizedek, this is a little bit strange, because what does this king of Salem, who gave some bread and some wine to Abraham, have to do with Jesus? And there are several things as we look at this. First of all, Melchizedek just means the righteous one. Some people believe linguistically it's not even a person, but it's just a descriptive concept, and the gluconated improper noun. I just wanted to say that this morning. So this person, Melchizedek, I think brings up two things that draws us into Jesus. One is that there's a lot of mystery involved with this. And just as with Jesus, there is a lot of mystery involved in how he interacts with us and how we interact with him. The second thing is that Melchizedek is doing something totally new. And that is also Jesus, following in his priestly order, is doing something new. We have the opportunity through what Jesus has done for us to, as we heard in Jeremiah, there's going to be a day when everyone can call on the Lord. And that becomes fulfilled in the John passage, where Greeks who weren't ethnically tied, descendants from Abraham, said, we want to see Jesus. And Jesus doesn't say, no, you can't because you're not Jewish. Actually, he wouldn't have used that terminology. But he doesn't say, no, you can't because you're not part of the covenant. He says, yeah, I'm going to be going through a lot of things very soon. And this is going to give everyone the opportunity to come to me. And this idea that we can go along and then be able to change and experience newness and life and vitality and health. The more and more that we come to know just basic biology, that we've all been told this is the way things are set this way. But really, as with Jesus, the entire biological universe is built on we can change and good things can happen. There's an entire field now that we've done the human genome of understanding epigenetics. So all of us have certain genes within us. We all believed before that those genes determine our future and our fate. But it turns out that by the actions that we take, the things we do, we can actually change how our genes are expressed. The same things with neurogenesis. Our brains aren't slowly declining as we age, but there's newness built in. And so this morning, I guess the first question was, what is the message? And with this message of newness and mystery, what is it? What is the new thing that God is inviting you to? And all of us, through Jesus, have access to that this morning. What is the new thing that God is doing in your life? And how will you respond to that? I just, again, when we look at the priestly order of Melchizedek, there's mystery and there's newness. And all of us have the opportunity this morning to come forward just as Melchizedek did and Abraham did and join in the bread and the wine to experience Jesus' invitation of the sacrifice of himself. So what is the new thing that God is doing in your life? What is the invitation that he is giving you? This is the word of the Lord.
you, Mark. Please stand together as we say the Creed. I trust in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I trust in Jesus Christ, God's only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into the dead. On the third day he rose again. He ascended into heaven. He is seated at the right hand of the Father, where he will come to judge the living and the dead. I trust in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body,